So in today's culture, there's this idea that everything needs to be faster, everything has to be prepared quickly, speed and time, and the value of things is how quick can it happen, how accessible is it. However, there's this trend that's happening at the same time that people are saying there's value in things that take process. There's value in things that have to be prepared. For instance, the carpenter who personally hand carves a table for you, and he says, I have built this table. I cut down the tree, I hand carved this tree into a table, and this is for you, has such a different value than going someplace and you purchase a table that comes in a cardboard box. People are home brewing craft beer, and it costs a ton to do it, and all the equipment, and they easily could go to the store and buy the same quality of things. But there's value in preparing something that takes a lot of time. It's almost like this heart of hospitality that the soul, the value, the heart, the aging of something comes from the intentionality, the being seen, the hands-on experience. And if someone prepares a place for you, it shows love. Love comes in many different forms, but there's this special type that comes from being seen, and being seen from this profound depth, that people who see each other take the time of preparation, take the time of preparing a path. My mom, she loved having people come over to the house, and she would invite people to come, and people thought that it was just for coffee, or it would just be to hang out and talk, but she would invite people and then begin preparing for days for someone to come. And she'd be thinking about who they had been to her, their favorite foods, their favorite coffees, their favorite teas, hot chocolate, and she would buy 4 or 5 different types of hot chocolate, different coffees, different finger foods, appetizers, and she would prepare the best of the best for everyone who would come to our house. She was magical. And if anyone showed this heart of hospitality and preparing, it was my mom. She, in the act of preparing, found so much heartbeat and joy and peace and hope and love inside of her own heart in just vacuuming and thinking about the other person, and this idea of she's preparing a space to make someone feel incredible. So during the Advent season, someone who embodies the same posture and who is celebrated is John the Baptist, because he kind of prepares this place for Jesus. It was said that if anyone embodied love, it was him. And it was simply through this act of getting out of the way. And it was this act of, I'm going to prepare for somebody else to come after me. And so he's preparing this place. He isn't thinking technically about how fast he can get things done, or even if he himself is even going to get it done, or even see it to its fullness. He is simply thinking of, how do I prepare this place for Jesus? How do I go back to the basics, to the Torah? How do I understand the things that typically people don't understand? And how do I begin to tend to the soil? How do I begin to prepare this place for the presence of God to invade? And there's something about the heart of John the Baptist. It's like, man, did he feel as if like he is setting the scene for the best party to happen, and no one even knew it was going to happen yet? Did those who come and see what he was doing and hearing what he was saying, did they feel love? And did Jesus feel like, wow, John prepared this place for me to come and be? The table was set. I mean, John was doing things that were so different. He was baptizing in the Jordan, but the Pharisees were baptizing in the temple. Why? Because he was beginning to cultivate the soil, because everything was going to be different. This was a season of love. I have spent a ton of time hiking and backpacking and being in the backcountry, and something that people say is, so if you ever come to a spot that you can't find home, if you begin to panic and you get turned around and you can't find your path back, and you start to be afraid, that the first thing you should do is you pause and you build a fire, because there's something in the human psyche about a fire that causes somebody to feel as if everything is going to be okay. And in fact, in the early church, and before the church even existed, there had been this like value that people saw of fire and a flame, and as symbolizing the presence of God, as if in the Jewish temple they would always have this flame burning, saying God is here, God is present. And that symbol has continued on to today. There are churches who have candles in the back of the sanctuary to symbolize the presence of God, and God is here. And these candles and these things that are burning aren't just the candles that you buy from the store. They're like special candles that have been prepared and hand poured, and they burn for a really, really, really long time. There's something about the flame and a fire that brings people back to understanding the truth of the things that are. It's that God is here, He is not absent, and I am loved. So as you light the love candle, may you find love in the act of preparation. May you find joy in creating spaces because you see people. May you find love in sitting in the places that have been prepared for you. And may you take joy, peace, love, and hope and sit in it this Advent season, as these are the things that Jesus has prepared for you.